Heyo, friends, and welcome to Adventures in Summer Reading. It's me, Gorp, and I am so glad to see you again. Hey, watch this. I made music with my hands. Did you see that? Wait, I can do another one. Are you ready? How do they make this music? That's so cool. I wonder if I hit them on other things. Oh, like my belly. How about my head? Whoa. I'm dizzy. But hey, look at this. Did you see this? Do you know what this is? Oh, this is a hand drum. It's an instrument you play with your hands. Oh, it looks like it's made of wood, and it has these two circles at the top. That's where the music comes from. Should we try it? Did you hear that? I made music. Oh, let's try it again. What about both hands? Yeah! I'm gonna do another beat. How about this one? Or how about this one? I like to play. Stick, did you hear that? Where are you? Oh, he always misses the good stuff. Friends, I have great news. Do you know who's here today? DrummingWorks and Joan Brannon. Take it away.
All right, hello. I'm Joan Brannon, and I am a percussionist. I do a lot of West African percussion, and I also use drumming a lot to meditate and calm myself. So in these times we're living in, there's a lot of stress that people are having and a lot of fear about some things. So I wanted to start today with just taking a minute to start us out with some really peaceful sounds. So this is a percussion instrument. It's not like these, and I'll tell you all about these things later. But for right now, let's just start quietly. This kind of instrument helps me to remember to breathe. It reminds me to slow down and take my time and appreciate each day, appreciate each moment. All right. So one of the things that I appreciate greatly about life is being able to drum. When I was younger, growing up, there were these kind of rules where people wouldn't let girls drum. It was a different time. And as I grew and grew, I was able to be able to get my hands on these percussion instruments and learn how to use them. So now that I know how to use them and know how wonderful they make me feel and how wonderful they make other people feel, I just like to share them. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to just share some of these instruments. I'll tell you a little bit about them and a little bit about how to play them. And you can be dancing along if you want to. You can be drumming on your lap if you want to. I'll start out with the djembe. This is a drum that comes from West Africa. Sounds like this. djembe. And it can be soft or it can be louder. For me, as I was playing it, the sounds were making me more and more excited. So if you notice, it may have gotten a little faster, a little louder, but I really love it. It has different notes. When I was playing the song just now, I was using these different sounds on different parts of the drum. And so this one, it's called bass. You play it in the middle of the drum, so it has a lower, more steady sound. And if you come to this part of the drum has a kind of higher pitch sound. And that note is called tone. Also in this part of the drum, you can get a third sound. So it's like this. And it's called slap. So djembe has those three notes: bass, tone, slap. And it's made in West Africa. My drum was made actually in Guinea, West Africa. And I really love it. I was sitting with the carver who made it, and you can see some of the carving. So I was able to pick out the shell from the tree that it was made from, and then I asked the carver to do this design, and also this design that was kind of special to me. I don't know if you can see all that, and I like that yellow rope. And on top of there is goat skin. So making these drums is a really serious art form that has lasted for, I don't even know, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. And when you play this drum in West Africa, and also if you have teachers here, you can learn West African rhythms that are based on those three notes. And I'll give you a sample of a song. So that's a version of a song called Soli. And that's kind of a sample of a djembe. I have all these other instruments here, so I'll take some time to show those to you as well. This is a talking drum. And it has ropes kind of like that djembe, but the ropes on this drum you can squeeze. These ropes you can't squeeze, they're real tight. They hold this head down together. These ropes you can squeeze in. And when you play this drum, you hold it under your arm, and you have a stick. This one you play with your hand, it's a hand drum. This one has a stick, and you hit it like. But if you squeeze it, the sound changes. So if you move these ropes while you're playing, it's called a talking drum, and it's called a talking drum because you can change the voice of it. So the voice changed as I was playing it. All right, let's see. I want to play this instrument because this is one that people don't really see a lot, I don't think. It's called a Balaphone, and it's all wood. So it has these wooden, like these slats, like that. That are all different lengths, so shorter to longer. And then on the bottom, it has gourds. One of the things that I appreciate about instruments that come from different parts of Africa is they have some connection to Kentucky folk art. So around Kentucky, you'll find a lot of instruments also made of gourds. And that's because of, the connection with transatlantic slave trade and where people settled and all that kind of thing. So this is a Balaphone. I'm going to play it just a little bit, and then I'll show you some other instruments. Now, that wasn't a real song, I was just playing around, and I like to do it that way so that other people know if they were here and they had these sticks, they could just stand right here and play around just the way I'm doing. So, Balaphone. All right, let's see, what else should we play today? Let's go to doon-doons. These are also part of West African drumming tradition. The doon-doons there are 3, sometimes 4 in a set, and they have names. This is the large one is the doon-doon, the middle size is sangban, and the smaller size is kinkini. And when you play West African drums, you'll often see these in an ensemble with djembe. And basically, the djembes are really following what the doon-doons do. So they have there's one with a deeper sound, middle sound again, and then another higher pitch sound. So those are doon-doons. Doon-doon, sangban, kinkini. And I also have this instrument is called Shakery. I'll go back to my seat and show you it. This is another instrument that has close connection to Kentucky. It's made with a gourd. In fact, I made this instrument and it has beads holding it woven together to make the sound. So you play it, it's a drum, it's a percussion instrument. That's a shakery. So that's kind of an introduction to all these percussion instruments, and there are a lot of songs and rhythms and things that you can learn if you ever want to play these instruments. They're all about using your voice, sending messages, and so my message to you today is thank you for watching, and I hope you're safe and well. Thank you.
Wow, Joan, that was great. I think my favorite drum was the talking drum. That's because I have a lot to say. I also really liked how Joan used her drumming to meditate and calm down. So let's all take a deep breath, calm down, and get ready to hear Miss Tanya read us Bringing the Rain to Kapiti Plain.
Hi, I'm Miss Tanya, and I'm going to read to you Bringing the Rain to the Kapiti Plain by Verna Ardema, pictures by Beatrice Vidal. This book is read with permission from Dial Books for Young Readers, part of the Penguin Publishing Group. This is the great Kapiti Plain, all fresh and green from the African rains, a sea of grass for the ground birds to rest in, and mid patches of shade for wild creatures to nest in, with acacia trees for giraffes to browse on, and grass for the herdsmen to pasture their cows on. But one year, the rains were so very belated that all the big wild creatures migrated. Then Keepat helped to end that terrible drought with this story, tells how it all came about. This is the cloud, all heavy with rain, that shadowed the ground on the Kapiti Plain. This is the grass all brown and dead, that needed this rain from the cloud overhead. the big black cloud, all heavy with rain, that shadowed the ground on the Kapiti Plain. And these are the cows, all hungry and dry, who mooed for the rain to fall from the sky, to green up the grass, all brown and dead, that needed the rain from the cloud overhead. The big black cloud, all heavy with rain, that shadowed the ground on the Kapiti Plain. And this is Keepat, who watched his herd as he stood on one leg like a big stork bird. Keepat, whose cows were so hungry and dry, they mooed for the rain to fall from the sky, to green up the grass all brown and dead, that needed the rain from the cloud overhead. The big black cloud, all heavy with rain, that shadowed the ground on the Kapiti Plain. This is the eagle who dropped a feather that helped to change the weather. It fell near Keepat, who watched his herd as he stood on one leg like the big stork bird. Keepat, whose cows were so hungry and dry, they mooed for the rain to fall from the sky, to green up the grass all brown and dead, that needed the rain from the cloud overhead. The big black cloud, all heavy with rain, that shadowed the ground on the Kapiti Plain. This is the arrow Keepat put together with a slender stick and an eagle feather. From the eagle who happened to drop a feather that helped to change the weather. It fell near Keepat, who watched his herd as he stood on one leg like the big stork bird. Keepat, whose cows were so hungry and dry, they mooed for the rain to fall from the sky, to green up the grass all brown and dead, that needed the rain from the cloud overhead. The big black cloud, all heavy with rain, that shadowed the ground on the Kapiti Plain. This is the bow, so long and strong, and strung with a string and a leather thong. A bow for the arrow Keepat put together with a slender stick and an eagle feather. From the eagle who happened to drop a feather that helped to change the weather. It fell near Keepat, who watched his herd as he stood on one leg like the big stork bird. Keepat, whose cows were so hungry and dry, they mooed for the rain to fall from the sky, to green up the grass all brown and dead, that needed the rain from the cloud overhead. The big black cloud, all heavy with rain, that shadowed the ground on the Kapiti Plain. This was the shot that pierced the cloud and loosed the rain with thunder loud. A shot from the bow so long and strong, and strung with a string, a leather thong. A bow for the arrow Keepat put together with a slender stick and an eagle feather. From the eagle who happened to drop the feather that helped to change the weather. It fell near Keepat, who watched his herd as he stood on one leg like the big stork bird. Keepat, whose cows were so hungry and dry, they mooed for the rain to fall from the sky, to green up the grass all brown and dead, that needed the rain from the cloud overhead. The big black cloud, all heavy with rain, that shadowed the ground of the Kapiti Plain. So the grass grew green and the cattle fat, and Keepat got a wife and a little Keepat, who tends the cows now and shoots down the rain when the black clouds shadow the Kapiti Plain. The end.
Oh, what a great story. Thank you, Miss Tanya. Look, when I do this on the drums, it sounds like the rain, just like the story. Can you imagine it on the Kapiti Plains? Oh, what a great show. Remember, friends, sign up at the reading program at lfpl.org. Oh, what books are you reading at home? Write to me and let me know. But before we go, look, I have a letter. Oh, and it's a challenge. I love challenges. It says, Dear Gorp, How fast can you play the drums? Signed, Maggie. Maggie? I didn't think anyone would ever ask. Okay, are you ready to see? Let me just do a couple stretches here. Fingers, and my neck. Okay, 1, 2, 1, 2. All right, little bite of the pine cone. Okay, I'm ready. Are you ready? Here we go. Oh, you can't beat that, Maggie. You get it? Drums, beat.